Let me introduce. I'm here in the streets of Kiev, and I met this most interesting guy who's born in Kiev, moved to America for 20 years, was an English teacher. We're not agreeing on everything. He likes some of the things I've said, and he's a bit what do you want? Callous, a little bit callous, I want to say, because society has kicked him in the ass. But what's really interesting, though, is his studying time. And that's all we really have is time. So tell me your theories and what you're learning about time.
See, what I'm saying is basically that Einstein, he had it all wrong because he took the idea of time and he put it towards the science. And I believe that's the wrongest freaking thing he ever did. Wrongest ever thing he ever done, because you cannot take time, because time is not a dimension. It's basically not a dimension, it's a subjective kind of understanding of a human being. It's like, what is time? Time is basically, this French philosopher, unfortunately I forgot his name, he says that time is basically where a human conscious is being put into the longevity, if there's such an English word, right? Into longevity. So it's a human soul, human conscious being stretched.
So you say it's a human thing that it's like
human
frogs don't have time, maybe.
That's not. We're not talking about subhuman things like animals or whatever, or plants. I believe they got a souls too, but that's a little different subject. So what I'm saying is a human acceptance of the time. That's what I'm talking about. Like.
But didn't they just invent it, like the 12 hours, the 24 hours,
that's well,
isn't that
the
time?
24, the 12 hours, the 24, it's a Sumerian, strictly Sumerian. We just abducted, we didn't invent it. Our civilization that exists right now, we didn't invent it, we adopted from Sumerians.
Right. But they came up with it.
They came up with that. It's the year, the 24, 365, 24, 12,
all
blah,
numbers
blah, blah,
that we consider time.
60 seconds in a minute, blah blah blah, 60 minutes in an hour. So basically, it's all adopted from Sumerian civilization, but it's not the time. It's only the calculations. It's like, what is the space? Space is something that exists by the nature, but the way how we measure it is something else. We have to have the measuring tape to measure it, and it's a bit different.
And we
are applying our thinking to the nature, and we call it, oh, that's the right thing. This is how it's supposed to be. No, fuck no, this is wrong. So I'm saying Einstein was wrong about putting the time as a dimension, because time is not a dimension. Time is very much not as a dimension. It's a way different thing, and we are yet to discover. As long as
What's your thoughts on? What do you think it is?
my thoughts are, I'm working on it, and unfortunately there are not a lot of people in a philosophical history, in a European philosophical history, have been working towards that. Unfortunately not, because a little while ago we just agree on that bullshit where, oh, time is a dimension. The time can bend around the black hole in a space because of the gravity. Fuck that, really? Apply your fucking mind, homies.
Well,
think about it. It's bullshit. It's not, this is not how.
it's interesting
time
you come up
works.
with the word time, because in the last 188 days I've been on the road and I haven't been keeping track of time, because time is not important to me right now.
Keeping track of time and being in it are two different things. So you are basically obligated to keep a track of time because you are socially dependent fella, because you live within a society, because you are part of society. You're obligated to be like, let's talk about it, fucking, immigration, right? You're obligated with that stuff. So, but the reality of time is way different. It's the heart. I mean, not the heart as a muscle of the blood, as a blood pumping muscle. It's an acceptance, because look, the thought, the way how you think, it's the same way how you accept the reality through your vision, and that's exactly the same way how you accept the time, because time can slow down because, for example, if I'm gonna close, or anybody gonna enclose you into the closed space, closed room, and just keep you there, for example, for a week, a time will slow down for you very much. It's gonna be very long. You're gonna get bored. You're gonna go crazy.
Now, will it be longer if there's a clock in the room, or slow?
Yeah, taken, or there's gonna be a drop of water.
Okay.
Pump, pump. You know, something that will turn your cycle.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Time will slow
so
down.
you-
So is time a matter? How come it's slowing down for you? Specifically for you, if you're being transported into a different measure, if you're being transported in a different environment.
Okay.
So
let
in
me-
different environments, we accept time differently.
Let me throw something
So
out. Let me
time
throw
is
something
not
out there.
something like you can measure. It's
Let me-
not
no,
something,
wait a
Time
minute.
is not objective.
Okay,
Time is not objective.
let me throw something out there. An astronaut goes into space, and he travels for a week, and he only lived, basically time-wise, for 3 days, not 7 days. We lived for 7 days because we were going slower, and he was going faster, so he only lived for 3 days. Explain that. That's time.
Oh, I'm gonna explain that. An astronaut can't really go to space because how far he can go into space? How far we're talking about? The orbit?
Yeah,
Further?
yeah.
How much further?
He can't go. He can't go
No,
out
no,
of
no, no, no,
Van-
no, no. How much further? Americans never went to the moon.
Well, that's one of the
Americans
theories.
never. It's one of the theories because
well, I mean,
one of
supposedly
the-
you can't get through the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yes.
But they said there's a way through it at certain times.
a certain time. Ooh, wow, really?
But there is a theory that we
You
didn't go
cannot
to the
go
moon.
through that belt.
I've heard
It's
an
like a
astronaut. Listen to
Chernobyl
this.
in your face,
I heard
you
an
know?
astronaut once say in the ISS, the International Space Station.
Yeah, yeah.
He said one day we will be able to travel to the moon, but we can't yet. We can only go in low Earth orbit. So
And
there-
now that motherfucker, the sellout, the fucking actor named Elon Musk, he's nobody but a fucking clown. Elon Musk is a motherfucking clown trying to sell you some shit under the patronage of Pentagon, under the patronage of Hollywood. It's a fucking project. He's trying to sell you some fucking ideological shit. It's nothing but a fucking political weapon. It's like this political weapon.
Well, what does he gain?
that
What is
Russia-
he
Russia-
gaining?
Russia just
What's he
created.
gaining? You're saying what's he
It's
trying to sell us?
It's like a Cold War. It's like a Cold
The-
War.
the-
It's
the-
like a
the race- the space race?
Yeah, space race was a Cold War fucking mechanism, and the moon landing was it's like, oh, we made it. Like Yuri Gagarin went to space. He was the first man, but how far he went? What the fuck you can call space? I mean, 300 kilometers? How much further? Whatever. Oh no, we're gonna travel to the moon. Armstrong, right? What was that? Like the first name of Armstrong?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. I mean, you put the initials, you put the name, then you read it backwards. It's gonna amaze you. You're gonna be amazed what the fuck it says. It's.
Well, Neil would be lean at the end. so-
No, there is something else. I mean,
Okay.
Google it.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. So, U.S. never did moon landing because it is impossible. Because, in my personal belief, see, it's a matter of belief. It's when you start talking to people about moon landing, they go like, "Oh, so you don't believe that Americans went to the moon?" So, this is where we stop for a simple reason. Because is that a matter of belief? If that's a matter of the belief, that's where we stop talking. Because what is the matter of the belief? Either a religion or a fuck up. Like either you're trying to sell me some fucking religion that has no proof beyond it, and it only takes a belief, or you're trying to sell me some shit, right? I mean, like COVID-19. I'm not wearing a mask because I don't believe in COVID-19. I don't believe it because it's bullshit. It's strictly fucking economical and political fucking mechanism. Very humanic because it's better than the war. They could, the fellas who started it, they could do the World War III to fuck up the whole fucking thing, but they decided that it's not gonna fucking work. So let's do it a little bit. You know, I mean, people are shipple.
It's a new
I mean,
age. We have to do it differently nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, 99% of citizens of any country, Ukraine, US, doesn't matter, are really fucked in the head. I'm sorry, but I'm really disappointed in humanity at this point. Even in my own people, like US or Ukraine, whatever, people will buy any fucking thing, anything. People will buy anything you sell them. COVID, 9/11, Christianity, any kind of religion, moon landing. You can sell them basically anything, and it would be like, hey, that's what the news says. Armstrong landed on the moon. Jesus Christ was crucified. A friend of mine, he met this guy in a taxi. He met this taxi driver, and that taxi driver knew the other guy who actually met this other friend of his, who knew this fella who got sick of a fucking COVID. So it's real. It's fucking real. And if you don't believe that, then you're a fucking plague. You're a fucking plague, and you should be destroyed because you're non-conformist. And non-conformist is the enemy number one of the globalist
agenda.
Agenda,
There's a lot of
globalist
agendas.
world order that we are all gladly
Falling in line.
in
Falling in line, man.
right here and right now.
They're all falling in line. I've been on the road 188 days, and I've met hundreds of people, and been in hundreds of cities. In the small towns, all are without masks. In the big cities, are all masked up. And it seems like it's a political ball game now. And
It's not even political.
It's very interesting to
it's
see
not,
what
it's
how,
not
what will
political,
happen.
and it's not medical. It's a religion. It is a religion, just like the idea of the ball. Just like the let me get back real quick to the idea that the Earth shaped as a ball, because nobody.
You're not a flat earther, are you?
Am I? I mean,
Yes.
what the fuck is it? I don't know. What
People think the Earth's flat still.
I don't know what you're talking about. See,
Yes, you do.
No, I mean, let's talk about the facts. I mean, it is 2020 right now, and we as a humankind, we still don't have the picture of the Earth as a ball from the open space. If you go to the NASA website, you will see the Blue Marble collection, which is totally fucking photoshopped, and it will take a 9th grader to discover that, because all you gotta do is just download the picture of a blue marble picture of, I don't know, from 80s, and zoom it in and see that the cloud shapes are repeating. There is they repeat itself. And then there's like a blue marble connection. It continues within like 10 or 15 years. So you download one picture, and then you download a picture from late 80s, and you see that North America is twice as bigger. What the fuck happened, homies? NASA, it's official. It's fucking official information, and we got Houston, we got a fucking problem. You got a problem, Houston. And it's not that you have a problem. The problem is with society. Society has a fucking problem. My kind has a problem. I'm really pissed about it, and I'm really sick and tired of it. And
Are you a millennial? Are you considered a millennial? 37, right?
1983.
Is that a millennial? What are the
Oh, fuck,
millennials?
I don't know.
You don't know?
You can
You
go.
gotta have a,
I was born in Soviet Union. It was different like this. So what I'm saying is like this society, and then you start reading like Roman philosophy, Greek philosophy, anything, and you start understanding, dude, you shouldn't be fucking disappointed in the society. You shouldn't be disappointed in your family or friends for a simple fucking reason, because people and humanity as well always used to be like that. It's a human nature. It's a human nature of a humankind. This is who we are, and only few will understand what the fuck is going on.
and you gotta take all the facts and just come up with your own calculation. Because
Basically,
we
yes.
can't believe mainstream media. I know that.
It's
know.
like, yeah,
And then not everything's true on YouTube. So you have to find a medium there.
yeah, and then we start seeing like I started seeing within like past 10 years shit like people like people of younger generations being proud, and my generation as well, being proud for a simple reason of things like, oh, we're not watching TV, we reject that, we're not brainwashed, we're not watching. You're wearing a fucking mask when you're told there is a fucking COVID, homie. You don't have to watch TV. That's for older people. That's for people with lower IQ. For you, there is an internet. For you, there is this social network where you're watching this video right now, with this face right now. and that sucks. And once you realize that, you will understand that you're lonely. If you got enough.
So, what do you have any good news?
Good news, the bright news, the beautiful news. Yeah.
I don't say good news. Do you have any fantastic news? I'm
Let's
sorry.
bring some positivity into this dump of bullshit.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Oh, blin.
What's the positive here?
Positivity.
Give me some fantastic news.
Fantastic news is that there is a path and there is a way of you as a human being to develop your conscious to the level, not through some sects, not through some religions, but being an agnostic and learning everything and then getting to a certain point of understanding. If you're hungry for the knowledge, of course, where you at? See, the main questions for the human is who you are, where you at, and why. Who, where, why. I used to work as a security guard a long time ago, and those three used to figure over there. But these three figure in philosophy of humankind, philosophy of our kind. Who, why, and where. Who are you? Are you the neighbor? Are you the son? Are you the father? Are you the citizen? Where are you? Are you in the country? Is this the country? Why it's being called the country? Because some man wanted to call it the country a long time ago, and now you're obeying the laws because it has to be like that, and you're not asking questions why? You being a fucking conformist? No, we're trying to keep it positive, and we're getting it.
Yeah, I was hoping
And
for some
where?
positive.
Where? Of course, where? What is it? Where you at? What is it? What is it? Time? Space? What the fuck is it? You can watch NASA as long as you fucking want, but that's a lie. They're not gonna fucking. They don't fucking know shit. They don't
Well,
know
if
shit.
theory, there's a
Theory,
camera pointing
theory,
down to the Earth.
Theory. See, all NASA has is fucking bunch of theories. I got theories too, and the theory that the Earth is not a ball equals the theory that the Earth is a ball, because theory that Earth is a ball is only 400 years old. This motherfucker Newton.
What about the moon? Is it
Because
round?
he was a fucking
Is the
Jesus.
moon round?
It's round, but is it a ball? I don't know. I mean, I can see that moon is round, but is it a ball? I mean, we're talking about shapes and geometry.
And it happens to be the perfect spot and the perfect size
that covers the sun during
Yes.
the eclipse.
It's,
Oh, coincidence. Oh, that's so comfortable. NASA, hello. This is so comfortable. Thank you. Thank you for this comfortable
You almost have to
coincidence.
design it to be in that spot and that size.
It's just being comfortable, yeah. It's like, oh, it's a fucking coincidence. The moon covers the sun during the eclipse. It's just
perfectly, I might add.
perfectly.
Perfectly.
1 to 1, yeah. It's just a comfortable coincidence.
A very comfortable coincidence, exactly.
Yeah. You believe that? I don't fucking believe that. I believe there is a design to that. I believe there is management to that. I believe there is much more to that. I believe we are not being told who we are, why we are, and where the fuck we.
Okay, in closing, I need to hear your opinion on unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrials.
Never seen one.
Do you believe?
I can't believe something I never seen. I mean, I never seen that. I flew the planes. I've seen the flat horizon from the altitude where I should see the curvature of the Earth, because Earth is a ball. But all I seen is the flat horizon. I flew the planes multiple times, and horizon is not flat. Hello, hello NASA. But I never seen UFO. When am I gonna see it? Am I gonna be interested? Am
Well,
I
you've
gonna
seen
start
artifacts that we can't explain. You must have seen the artifacts from history.
Yeah, but those could be not necessarily an artifacts, because human history being rewritten every 5 years. History of any nature. I mean, any country. American history being rewritten, Ukrainian history being rewritten. It depends who's ruling the country. It depends what the country is and in which borders and under whose influence and blah blah blah. It's the dirtiest fucking shit in the world. We can talk about politics. So history is not a science.
Okay.
History. Hold
So
on,
wrap it
hold
up.
on.
15 seconds.
History. Here's very important thing. History is not a science. History is not something you can stand on, because it's always been written by Victorians, and Like, for example, if Hitler would won instead, it would be totally fucking different, homie.
That's right.
Totally different.
Okay, wrap it up. We're closing now.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the world, and I wish you all the luck in the world to figure this out. It's a lot of figuring you got to do.
That's what I'm doing.
You're halfway there, or you? How
I
far?
believe
are you?
it's an endless process because I mean I've been going so far, and I believe this is an enclosed system where we're at, which is designed the way where there are no answers.
So I think there's a.
So it's about the path. It's not about the result.
I think we need a continent or an island for people like yourself that want to get away
Antarctica.
from
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Maybe
Antarctica is the one.
Is that where?
Because Antarctica is pretty much the barrier. It's a fence that surrounds us. It's not a continent that exists by its own.
Right.
For a certain reason, there are United Nations military, heavily fucking weaponed on Antarctica.
Right.
There are ships, there are military, there are ships with missiles. Like, if you personally would like to travel to Antarctica, have you ever traveled to Antarctica?
No.
No, and you know it's gonna be like 20 times more expensive than traveling from California to Ukraine.
Well, yeah. There's nobody there.
It's gonna cost you like 10 or 15,000 bucks. Why is it so expensive to go and see?
Because no one's going there.
Some fucking penguins, and some penguins on the ice, and there's nothing going on there.
Right.
Why is it so expensive?
Well,
To see
because
the-
no one's going there.
Why-
The more people go
why-
someplace, the easier. The
Why?
less,
Why is no one?
there's
going
nothing to see but penguins.
Somebody told you there's nothing to see, or this place is protected.
Someone told me.
Heavily protected
Someone
with
told me
weapons
there's-
in United Nations.
Somebody told me.
The
News.
the true map of the world is on the UN flag, surrounded by Antarctica. That's what it is.
Oh, interesting.
That's what.
My
it is.
friend, thank you for this interview.
It was a
and
pleasure.
You are fantastic.
Likewise.